All right, so we're starting circles. First things first, let's go over the different pieces. The first one with your circle is labeled an R. What does the R stand for? Radius. The radius goes from the center of your circle to the outside of your circle. The other picture you should have drawn has the center and it cuts the circle completely half and is labeled with a D. What does the D stand for? Diameter. There is a direct relationship that we need to know about radius and diameter. It's written up here, but what can you say about it? Look at your pictures. Radius to diameter.
They help each other find the other one.
Sam?
You have to have the radius to find the diameter.
Or I could have the diameter to find the radius. But how would I do that?
Divide by 2 or multiply by 2.
Which one would get multiplied by 2?
Radius.
That's right. 2 radius will equal a diameter. So 2 times the radius will equal your diameter. Well, what if I'm given the diameter and I need a radius? Divide it by 2. So either half your diameter equals your radius, or your diameter divided by 2 is equal to your radius. As we work through these, we have to pay attention to our formulas. Do I need a D for diameter, or do I need an R for radius? And we need to make sure that we're given the right information. Good so far? All right, I'm going to give you a couple just to kind of see if we can flip these back and forth. Everything's written on the board in case you don't get it. Okay, it's on the board. If I give you this, what have I told you? I have told you that the diameter is equal to 12. How would you find the radius, Sam? Divide the diameter by 2 and it would give you 6. This is examples. You can write it down if you need it. All right. If I give you this one and label it as a 7, what information have you been given? Lewis? The radius. So if the radius is 7, how would you find the diameter? Multiply it by. All right, radius times 2 would be 14. Simple as that. And labeling your information as D's and R's as we go through these problems will keep your information organized and is going to help you throughout the rest of this. I promise. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go into the first part of your notes and we are going to focus on. Okay? This is the first page of the handout that I gave you. And we're going to do a few of these and then I'm going to let you loose into some groups, okay? The formula you've been given here for circumference is circled on your paper. You should have written it down. C equals pi d. That little symbol, as Sam pointed out earlier, is pi. And right now, you're going to use 3.14 in place of the pi symbol. Okay? That little pi symbol right there in front of the D. It's just a little letter, little Greek letter. It's pi. It's what it's known as. Okay. Yours shouldn't. We're just going to practice this formula. When I look on the first question, example 1, what part of the circle have we been given? We've been given the radius, okay? So if the radius is equal to 5, what is the diameter?
10.
It is 10, okay? First thing, let's write down our formula. Lot when we get into this geometry, write your formula, substitute your pieces, solve the problem. If you keep doing those 3 steps, it just becomes a habit. So we're finding circumference. Circumference is the distance around your shape. Kind of like perimeter, but we don't have sides. We have a circle. We're looking for circumference. What are we going to put in place of pi, the little squiggly thing? 3.14. So C equals 3.14 times, what's the D?
10.
10. Now you're ready to stick it in your calculator and raise a hand when you've got an answer. Ooh, there's a hand. Piper.
C equals 31.4.
It is 31.4, and we're going to put centimeters.
Isn't 3.14
Well,
the first digit for pi?
3.14 is the pi symbol.
Like 3.141394.
Yeah, it's an infinite number. It's irrational. It never ends.
What number?
How they figured that out, they had too much time on their hands. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. It's extremely easy. It's just practice.
How do you figure out if a number never ends?
Like I said, they had way too much time on their hands.
I know, but like.
This was before television, before video games, before cell phones, probably before electricity, so they had a lot of time on their
They
hands.
didn't have infinite time, so they couldn't figure out that it's infinite.
All right, refocus. All right, our next one. We have what part of the circle here? The diameter is equal to 9. What's the radius if the diameter is 9? Good practice here. Eben. 4.5. Okay. We are being asked to find the circumference. So my formula is C equals pi d.
Is it also always pi d?
Well, there's another formula, but I like us just to remember one. Okay? And just keep the process very just routine. What do we put in for pi? 3.14. What's the diameter? 9. So we have C equals 3.14 times 9. Fisher.
28.26.
28.26 meters. Make sure to put the M. Make sure you put your units. And since circumference is the distance around, leave the unit alone. Yeah, we'll put the exponents when we get to area. I'm going to put it online for the distance learners so I don't have to make another video after school today. So they get to hear all of you. Isn't that great? All right. Yes, sir. Okay, we're going to find the circumference of the next one. What piece of the circle have you been given?
Radiation.
All right. The radius is 7. What is the diameter?
14.
14. Very good. We are working circumference. So we have C equals pi times diameter. Sam, what are we going to replace the pieces with?
3.14 and 14.
3.14 times 14. And that will give you a circumference of how much? Keelan?
43.96.
43.96 what? Feet. Very good.
How do you know which one?
What do you mean?
You can measure
It's in the problem. If you look right here, it should be given to you. If it's not, just state the generic word units. Or just put UN after it. Exactly. All right. I'm going to take this problem off, and we're going to do the next one. What part have you been given? The diameter is equal to 3. What's the radius? Very good, 1.5. And we're going to start with our formula. C equals pi times diameter. We want to substitute our two pieces. Keelan, what will we substitute the two parts with?
We substitute pi for 3.14, and you substitute d with 3.
Very good. So we have 3.14 times 3. And what is our circumference for this circle? I started to write a D and then I had to put a 3. He'd be all right. Sam.
9.42 inches.
9.42 inches. We good here? All right. I'm going to stop recording here, and I want you guys to do the next 4.
Are you still recording?